17031 Whopper. We'll call him a Southern Group. Eastern Group is 50 east of Whopper. Eastern Group now turning Cold Angel. Understand, cleared to kill. Leader, past the line now. One, cleared kill, cleared kill.
По курсу до цели полсотни 3. Выше 3. Понял. По фронту между целью 2 километра.
Слева, одна справа, 209.
Пошли направо, 39. Наблюдаю, работаю по ней. 10 наблюдает? Нет. Понял. Находится справа. Иду за паром второй. Уходите влево, 722. Вот на второй, за нами. Работаю по верхнему. Давай, выхожу вправо. Пост. Понял. Пост второй за нами, давай. Огонь, огонь! Понял.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome in. Today we have the 25th Warehouse facing off against Nemesis. It's the Greeks with the international team facing off against them. I hope you're all doing well today. I just have to type out some messages. Now we need to do the dice rolls just to make sure that we know which map we're playing on today, so let's do that. Looking good? Okay. It's only on the Caucasus today, so 3, 2, 1. And that is map number 2. And we'll do the coin flip in just a moment while I change the map. Okay. How are you guys all going? How is your weekend? Are you having a good time? What have you been doing? Okay, we've got the mission restarting. Talking Flank is back? Yeah, I know. How did you enjoy the streaming experience that you had earlier today, Spade? What did you think of hosting a SATAC match? Did you have a good time? And it looks like the 25th Warehouse has picked heads, so we'll do the old two-sided dice. Playing a lot of DCS, yeah? What have you been playing? 1 is heads, 2 is tails, and 25th win the coin flip. So I'll just tell them. And I think we're getting just about ready to show you guys some flying. I think we have some mercenaries as well. And it looks like they've picked the red team. So let's get you guys something good to look at. I apologize. It's been a rush to get everything ready. My partner comes home from being away on a work trip tomorrow, and I wanted to get a haircut, and there were lots of people getting haircuts, and it took ages. Looking good, feeling good. And make sure that TAC view is connected. Looking good. So on the blue team, we have the members of Nemesis getting themselves all lined up. Not the only Greek team we have in SATAC, actually. We also have representatives from... Oh, does anyone remember what the other Greek teams are called? I'm just taking a last-ditch attempt to fix up the 25th warehouse liveries that I have, just because I'm struggling to get them to work. I don't know what happened here, but they decided to make their liveries to me a skill test. Let's go have a look over at the red side. Hopefully I got some of the liveries working. It's looking kind of promising. Okay. Lots of admin to do in the background. I need a PA or something like that. How's it going today? It's going very well. Mumble Marines Merc against 45th Merc. Yeah, well, it's going to be interesting. Do you know much about the people competing in this one? Getting DCS liveries to work. What is the current song? It's Back in Black by AC/DC. You don't know that? And what kind of pizza did you make as well? So, on the red side, we have Rodney X, Chihaya Anon. Oh no, Starry Fox 9, Super Q, and Cyber. You know that, J11? Well, it's the one livery that worked so far, so, we'll see. I'm so confident that I installed them correctly, but, yeah. Anyway, Hex is being, as usual, a wonderful, source of help in situations like these. So, Cyber, Starry Fox 9, Super Q, Oh No, Chihaya Anon, and Rodney X. It's kind of loud for talking over. It's because I recently switched it to a, streaming my music from a different service, and the volume slider looks different. And we've got Slide heading up for the Nemesis in their lineup. Leading the way, they have Slide, Lee Adama, Aeolus, Baseball, Officer, and Kikaku. A big list of recognizable names, all in F-16s. So yeah, if the volumes are a little bit off, let me know and I'll fix them straight away. So a full team of F-16s. We've watched Nemesis fight before, and they have actually had some pretty good success. But there are some fearsome competitors on their opponent's side. Let's see. It's one of the first matches I did. It was... It was In Sky facing off against Nemesis, but it was a close match. Pepperoni pizza, spectacular. And yes, the 3-minute ad breaks are a bit of a Twitch thing, just because it takes I have to on Twitch play ads. I can't control whether or not I play ads. I have to play ads, and I have to play a certain amount of ads. They don't let me not play ads. I have to absolutely play a certain amount of ads. So the only thing I can do is I can control when they happen. So if I make all of the ads for an entire hour happen in 3 minutes, then that means for the rest of the hour, Twitch is happy and thinks that I've played enough advertisement. 2 F-15s. This will be interesting. In fact, 2 F-18s, a J-11, another F-18, and then 2 F-15s. This is one of the more unique mixes we've seen so far. Yes, there are SD-10s on the J11. Looks like it's a full pack of SD-10s and R27 ETs and 2 R73s along with the ECM pod, which will be good. Leodama flying a Viper. Oh, look. We're going to see the Adama maneuver. Our Hellenic friends Looking disciplined and organised, ready for this match, I think. Does the J11 have all of the fancy data link where for similar to the F16? Yes, they do, but it's lower. Well, there's less that you can do with it than you can with the F16. The F16 provides a lot more detail, and that information can be used for a lot more. Whereas on the J11, it just kind of shows where contacts are relative to you, and it gives you a slight indication of their speed and altitude, but no solid numbers. You'll have the liveries fixed by next round for sure. Excellent. I'll tell the 25th. The only question is, Hex, will the liveries that I have match up with what they have? One way or another, both teams ready. Get set. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go, go, go. All right. And there we go. The beginning of the Saturday SATAC. Yeah, the Hornets are leaving triple bagged up. In fact, what am I looking at here? What's Cyber carrying? Okay, not triple bagged up. We are running double ugly on the F-18. Gross. Yeah. No worries. Meanwhile, on the Nemesis side, we can see all of the F-16s taking off in good order. It's pretty tricky to get them this close together when there's wake turbulence turned on. So, progressing along, we have baseball heading into the far north. We have Kikaku heading south, with Aeolus, Slide, Officer, and Leodama forming up down the center. Meanwhile, the three F-18s for the 25th warehouse, Cyber, Starry Fox 9, and Rodney X, are happily proceeding up northwards. Chihaya? Is it just Chihaya? I keep trying to add an extra syllable in there. In the J11, following them up into the northwards direction. Meanwhile, Super Q and Ono in their F-15s seem to be in good coordination here. And if I know what some of these teams like to do with F-15s, I'll be surprised if we don't see them up at 45,000 feet in no time flat. It's interesting, though, electing not to bring the centerline bags. I wonder if it's the case that bringing a centerline bag is almost too much fuel. But I think that the F-15 actually, even if you don't bring the centerline pod, does it? Oh, it doesn't have the pylon if you have no... Right, so it's got to be a drag thing. GG, hi. So, a fearsome formation is heading towards The boys from Nemesis today. Starry Fox 9. A spectacular pilot. Has verifiably owned me on multiple occasions. Has made a point of finding me on DCS multiplayer servers and kicking my ass so hard that I rage quit. But other than that, he's a nice guy. The trim would be bad with those tanks. Those 2 bags. Oh, you mean, is it Cyber's loadout? You see, the unbalance here would be unacceptable to me, but I guess once you've jettisoned the fuel pods, it's probably not bad with just the Sparrow, and we've seen time and time again how useful those Sparrows end up being. Let's get a poll set up. I want to see who you're here to support. We'll run that one for a few minutes. No one has entered the circle yet, but it looks like Slide is just about to cross that threshold. Charging forward for the Greeks. 1 centerline fuel tank is locked and loaded and ready to go. The weather of this scenario looking pretty clear overall. Current temperature is 18 degrees Celsius. So all of these aircraft should be performing pretty much exactly how we expect them to. Welcome in, everyone. I hope you're all having a good day today. Hello, Keninomat, Mustang, Yazaroth, DXina, Hex, Mika, Spade. Why bring Sparrows home on jam? Well, you can only bring a maximum of 4 Fox 3 missiles, so that will end up leaving you with some pylon space, especially on the Hornet, because you can only bring AMRAAMs on the double rack, and there's no point in bringing them singly. The F-15's at 31,000 feet in close formation. Starry Fox 9 leads the charge into the circle. We'll see the first conflict, no doubt, here. Slide throwing down the gauntlet against Super Q and Ono. He does have the altitude advantage at 51,000 feet. And will be able to get up at a pretty good speed. 52,000 feet, gosh. That engine must be gasping for air. Hey Loslina, hey Spaceman, hey Night Assassin, hello everyone. Does anyone run jammers in SATAC? Yes and no. The F-15Es, the F-15Cs rather, have the added benefit of having the jamming built in. So, it can be tricky to know whether or not, it can be tricky to know whether or not someone is emitting, but the F-16s often find themselves more in need of extra fuel. Slide, still proceeding. He's covered a lot of ground, and now he's 53 nautical miles away. Starry, actually, the first one to fire at 43,000 feet. It's very high for an F-18. So the first missile is launched, and it climbs up to 60,000 feet. Is it even useful in air? It has one specific use case that is actually quite relevant to SATAC. Which is that it prevents the lofting behavior of a variety of missiles. So if you want to stop having the enemy having the benefit of being able to loft AIM-120s at you, you can run jammers if you want, but that is kind of the one niche use case. There's also having to burn through the jam to fire a solid lock, but the burn through rates on most of these aircraft, I think, are about 25 nautical miles to 35 nautical miles, which is kind of what I would expect in terms of engagement ranges anyway. Thank you for the follow, SockMod5. How are you? LMW, thank you for the follow as well. Looks like the F-16 has been driven off, and the F-15s have had the path cleared to fight towards the southern group. Leodama, Officer Kikaku are going to be facing off. Make sure you tell me that if the volume's all good. And the first missile comes off the wings for the F-15s at 41,000 feet, traveling deadly quick. Looks like it's a 33 nautical mile shot, so lots of potential on this kill. Baseball's dragging their feet a little bit on getting into the circle. Make sure he doesn't leave his friends behind. Slide is at 60,000 feet. Jeez, 61,000 feet at the moment. And Leodama gives Super Q an AIM-120 in response, but hopefully is aware of the fact that this one is heading for them. And look at this defense. Looks like the 25th Warehouse are the favourites. I'm sure there is a little bit of bias there with some of the friends that we know are going to be on the team. So Leodama is ditching all of the altitude that they can. Is Sparrow the only home on jam option? I can't remember what else does home on jam. The problem is that the ranges are so massive. I mean, can you honestly think of one scenario where you have a opportunity to fire a Sparrow at 35 nautical miles and, ooh, this is going to be a little bit close. Not quite a kill, but that F-15 managing to just get away from that missile, and it goes down. Meanwhile, Officer is defending their AIM-120 and successfully gets away from it in the mountains. Super Q gets away, but Ono is now by themselves, right up above in the mountains. Kikaku forces Ono to go defensive. Slide fires a AIM-120 here, deciding to come down from 62,000 feet. And here we see what is presumably a home on jam A7. Rather, AIM-7. Actually, none of these F-16s have jamming pods, so they might get themselves into trouble. Slide at 23,000 feet fires an AIM-120 against a defensive Ono who's at 12 nautical miles. So that at least is going to have to ensure that Ono continues defending for a while. Chihaya stares down Aeolus and Baseball. Baseball has managed to enter the circle and will have not used any... Uh-oh. Hex, that skin that you made. The missile comes off the wings. It was an SD-10, so none of the R-27Ts being used just yet. That was a 14 nautical mile shot against Aeolus. Ono's been completely chased out of the mountainous region there. This missile tears down into low altitude. Didn't even make an effort, wasn't even close. An R-27 comes off the wings, is swapped between Baseball and Chihaya. The R-27, a long-range infrared, and Baseball correctly assumes that it is an infrared and drops plenty of flares. That 27 is definitely not going to be tracking anything now. And sure enough, it goes silly goof. And Chihaya has to run away now from the 120, seeking to exact revenge. And looks like they've gotten away with it comfortably. Two AIM-120s go out towards Cyber, from Officer, and Leodama briefly crests the hill to take a shot, but there's a 120 coming in straight for him. Leodama right into the behind. Leodama caught out of position very slightly there, with Super Q scoring the first of the kills. Starry Fox 9, exactly where you don't want him to be if you're fighting against him. He's low and he's close. He fires a Sparrow, which lofts right up. Looks like it's going for the terrain. But Starry is just going to keep on pushing here. Chasing down Aeolus. Officer has pushed out now. And is now 9 nautical miles away from Chihaya, who is firing SD-10s. They trade missiles in both directions. Looks like Baseball fires 120 towards Starry. Let's check these launches out, as Officer has to contend with the SD-10 chasing them down. It goes straight into the mountains. What about the one going from Chihaya? Close, but no cigar. Meanwhile, Starry here has to notch an AIM 120. Could be a standard day in the office for our Japanese friend, and certainly is. 2 AIM 120s for the trouble of firing at Kikaku. They crest briefly over the hill, and both Cyber and Rodney are having to defend hard against this. If this is going for Cyber, it has potential. It flies over the top of Cyber. If only it was going for the closer of the J11s. And no dice as it goes for Rodney X. Officer here with an AIM 120 coming in hot, and it connects. Rodney fires an AIM 9 in response, but it's never going to have the range to get there. Starry Fox 9 relatively close to Aeolus. Slide has managed to make his way up to 60,000 feet again. 2 of the members of Nemesis down so far, but not out. Kikaku and Cyber right next to each other. Aeolus and Starry Fox 9 right next to each other. Baseball being shunned out of the battle at the moment by Ono, who's pushing hard with the F-15 and launches one of its Sparrows just to keep that radar warning receiver screaming. We see a merge here with Kikaku managing to get really close to one of the members of the 25th Warehouse, but gets punished for it. Caught a little bit too high. Took that opportunity to take a shot, and Aeolus has just merged with Starry Fox 9. The two of them trade AIM 120s with each other. Who's got the confidence that they can notch it? Starry's missile connects, but does Starry get hit? Starry manages to dodge the 120 fight in response. Baseball getting chased down now by Ono. And it looks like Slide, while we were having a look, managed to take down Super Q, and Ono takes out the last remaining member of Nemesis in the northern group as Baseball goes down. It all falls onto Slide, who has a massive altitude advantage, fires a 120 down at Chiaya. It's got all the energy it needs, but is he going to get it notched? No dice. Chiaya goes down. An AIM 9 towards Starry. Starry manages to dodge it by centimeters. What about the AIM 7 fight in response? He gets away with it. The two of them emerged right close to each other. But Starry Fox is right on his 6. Question is, has Starry got any weapons to make something happen here? Or any teammates to ask for help? Looks like Starry's all by his lonesome at the moment, and is down to AIM 9s. The AIM 9 gets launched, but it has to pull a lot of Gs. It does impact, and Starry scores the kill. So, an excellent performance by both teams there. Only 3 members of the Reds still remaining. I think we need to have an analysis because I don't think we saw some of those kills. So, still flying, we have Rodney X, Sorry Fox 9, and Cyber. So let's have a look at what happened to the others. Super Q got taken out by Slide. Let's see where it happened. And it happened right here. So, Slide climbing all the way up to 56,000 feet. Why does his music keep getting louder? So, Slide, all of that climbing and turning and burning actually managed to get them the altitude advantage. Super Q just caught massively out of position here, I think. And that's one of the downsides of the F-15. With the lack of data link, I think you can get yourself into situations like this. Why is it fine for a bug to wingtip heaters, but not a Falcon? It's because the F-16's wings are more flexible than the F-18's, and the wings flexing and vibrating over the course of intense flight wears them out over time. So in order to lessen and dampen that effect, they put AIM-120s, which are heavier than AIM-9s, on the wingtips, so it lessens the amount of vibration that that happens on the wings and increases the lifespan of the F-16's wings. But it is basically roleplay. There is genuinely nothing proper about it. Starry, incredibly, look at this. If it were anyone else, I would say it was luck. But that one would have scraped your canopy. How close is that? 76 feet. So Super Q went down. We saw Chihaya get slashed by by Slide later on. So Chihaya turns in, and Slide, with this huge altitude advantage, manages to get the shot. Unlucky that didn't notch, actually. And where's lucky last? Oh no. When did we lose Oh no? You know what? I think Oh no pushed so hard that, in fact, I have no idea what happened there. He's too high for it to be a terrain collision, but he exploded. Oh no. Spontaneously explodes for seemingly no reason. I can't fathom why that would have happened. Unless it was a disconnection. So we watch the victors make their way way back home with Starry leading the way. Clearly sabotage. I know had tacos. It's possible. Rodney X leading the way and the journey back home. Yeah, but leaving the circle and coming back is fine. It's not as if you crossing the threshold means that your plane's going to explode. And it looks like Hex has managed to help me reinstall the liveries. The pilots see the circles, they see them on the map. They don't have any physical representation of them other than what their instrumentation is telling them. Oh, it was because of the bubble flow. Okay. Then it was a bubble violation. I've actually never, I've never actually seen that happen before. The fight so rarely ever makes its way that far over to the sides. Interesting that the survivors for the 25th warehouse are all the F-18s, with none of the J-11s or F-15s making their way back. What's a good PvP server other than Growling Sidewinder? Well, it depends on what you want to fly. I like Contention. Contention's very popular at the moment and is mostly kept to Fox 1s and Fox 2s. So you get to use Sparrows and R27s and stuff. But I don't know, you can ask the chat. Do you guys have any particular favorite servers to play on? My favorite PvE server for a long time has been Flashpoint Levant. F-16, you're trying to get better at using it. You see, the only problem is that on Growlings, on Contention, the F-16s typically only have AIM-9Ms. But you should keep your eye on the Contention, you should keep your eye on the Contention server to see if it ever does a 90 scenario, because they've done 90 scenarios before. And it's just me, or is it got a little bit of flap on, and that gives the F-16s AIM-120Bs. Been loving the new Panther Den on Cola? What's Panther Den? Contention? Yeah, but Contention's Fox 1 based. Shadow Reaper 80s, yeah, also Fox 1 based. I mean, you want to get into like intense PvP, you could start looking at places like Blue Flag, but if you're trying to practice, Blue Flag might be a little bit intense. You're thinking of buying the Mirage 2000 or the SU-27 because they look really cool? Both of them are really good planes. The SU-27's Flaming Cliffs, so it should be cheap. Contention 90s is fun, I agree. Contention 90s was really good fun. I had such a blast on there. Panther Den is a PvE dynamic campaign, but it's really fun. I'm gonna have to check it out. Is it full modern, or is it, who are you fighting? Also, I'm gonna switch up the music because I want more fast-paced rock, you know? I don't want slow rock, I want fast rock. Okay, Rodney X has 37 nautical miles to cover to get home. And should make it comfortably. Starry Fox 9 following behind. Kind of wish Contention had enough of a player base. I mean, Contention has been like the most populated server on DCS half the time. It beats out Growling Sidewinder these days. Panther Den's 100% modern? I see. You can't make the Super 530D on the Mirage 2000 work for the love of God? Is that the Fox 1 missile? They're really good. Not really a fan of Contention releasing another Cold War server with limited airframes. They'll do what they do. You'll try the SU-27? You should. I should trial the Mirage 2000. I'm surprised that Starry Fox 9 hasn't jettisoned his empty weapons pylons. Huh, that is strange, Rogue. I think it's really just a case that the organisers of the service really like Fox 1s, and I can't blame them. The only thing I wish... Is it not possible to lure hack Sparrows onto the F-16? I would have thought it would have been straightforward. You know, like lure hacking the SD-10s onto or maybe it's not. Maybe the F-16 just completely lacks the code to support any kind of Fox 1 missile. But surely it must. It's simulating some kind of radar emission. They have Sunbright ECM. What's that? You play on Shadow Reapers, so enemy AIs fire R-77s. R-77s don't have great range. No, it's not. They do not function. Huh. What a shame. I do think if there's one thing that I wish Eagle Dynamics would do, it would be making allowances for that sort of thing, you know. Be like, we added this functionality to the F-16, not because it was realistic, but because it was more fun. And F-16s did carry Sparrows, so you can use this feature to roleplay as one of these other Sparrow carriers. It'll be a server-side option. But it's the same thing that ED always does, like the fact that they outright refuse to even imagine adding 2 more pylons to an F5, because the F5 that they're simulating is a specific F5 belonging to the Swiss, it's a Swiss aggressor F5, and it's just like, oh, come on. Never mind. Just like the Apache and APKWS. I don't actually know the story behind the Apache and APKWS. They won't do that, but they are working on an F-35. Yeah, but, you know. They're gonna do what they're gonna do. Shall we see whether or not his landing is on glide slope? Ooh, he's looking good. 4X AIM-9 F5E. It would transform that plane into one of my least favorite, into something I'd probably fly all the time. He's doing a proper overhead pattern and everything. Starry's like, nah, I can't be fucked with that. I'm not going to do that. Why won't the nose go down? Modern Apaches do carry APKWS, but because they're emulating an Apache from 2002, they refuse to add them to it. F-16A Block 15. Is that the one where the left MFD is like a little dynamic digital display? And that is a gentle touchdown. That F-18 probably doesn't even realize it's on the ground. And that means that round number 1 goes to the 25th warehouse. And after performing that beautiful overhead brake, Rodney is coming down. I don't even know how the radar displayed information on that particular block of F-16. The radar's... that's right. The middle screen between your legs. Rodney X makes it down and safe. And Cyber, the last one. Right on the line. But hopefully we'll put down the wheels sometime soon. What is SATAC? The Squadron Air-to-Air Tactical... Squadron Air-to-Air competition. It's a 6v6 PvP scenario in DCS world, where 2 teams of 6 take off and fight for control of a central circle, and the last team standing that can safely return to base with at least 1 pilot wins the round. And safe. Cyber successfully makes it down onto the ground. Alright guys, it's time to get ready for round number 2. So, give me a moment here while I get everything set up. And while that happens, you can hear a word from one of our sponsors, Master Arm Servers.
Running a dedicated DCS server can be complex, time-consuming, and expensive. And after all that effort, you still might not get the smooth, seamless experience you're looking for. That's why virtual pilots and virtual squadrons choose Master Arm as a ready for immediate use solution and for peak efficiency. With low latency, high stability, and uncompromising performance, Master Arm ensures that every maneuver, every decision, and every shot counts. Stay mission ready. Fly with confidence. Master Arm has your six. Get your server at www.masterarm.de.
Alright guys, we're going to step away while we prepare the server for the next round. So listen to a little bit of music, there may be some ads that play depending on your status, and we'll be right back soon, okay? Big love. Welcome back, guys, to round number 2. Switzerland shot down... Oh, in fact, that's something I do know. In fact, I'm quite intimately familiar with stories. Well, we managed to get some of the skins working for the 25th Warehouse Flight Simulator Club, Faith and Honor. And the People's Liberation Army Navy has managed to secure themselves some F-18s. Meanwhile, Slide, having had made a good impact on the first match, taking the lead, followed by Lear Dharma, then Officer, Kikaku, Baseball, and Aeolus. The same aeroplane layout for the 25th. Looks like 3 F-18s plus a couple of extras. And someone told me who this character is, but I can't remember who it was. Oh my god. Super Q, what are you doing? Okay, okay. Speed violation. Super Q wants to taxi fast at 95 knots. Is he going to be able to slow down in time, or is he going to fall off the cliff? Managing to slow the F-15 down in time, it was just an expedited taxi. You got any games on your phone? All's well that ends well. 100% orange juice. Isn't stall in the 18 like 85 knots? I don't know. That does sound about right. Meanwhile, Nemesis doesn't have the time for this sort of ludicrousness. Oh. And it looks like Nemesis have reported themselves ready for takeoff. Starry Fox 9 joins the front line with the F-18s. Welcome in, everyone. Those of you who are just joining us now have made it just in time to check out the 25th Warehouse facing off in the second round against Nemesis. So it looks like Chi Haya is going to take the middle spot with Ono and Super Q. in the F-15s right at the tail end. Both Ono and Super Q fell in the first round, but not after getting their missiles off the wings. They faced off against a very aggressive Slide who climbed all the way up to 60,000 feet in an F-16 and wasted no time in getting to work. Slide's high altitude antics actually worked quite well in Nemesis's favour, so I wonder if they'll actually seek to continue that strategy and send one or two more people up to the tippy top of the virtual skies. Okay. Get set. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go, go, go. Wasting no time. Slide is on a mission here with 3 bags. But his teammate gets a bit of a wobbly on the takeoff, dealing with wake turbulence. And 2 more follow on behind. A little bit cheeky with the early start there. The J-11 follows on from the F-18-3 ship that has just taken off, as it leaves behind the 2 F-15s for the 25th yet to take off. And there we have it. Everyone is off the ground and getting ready for round 2. The 3 F-18s, Rodney X, Cyber, and Starry Fox 9 in a battle line heading straight towards the circle. Leodama is heading north, and Slide is not at 60,000 feet. I'll throw up a poll for you guys so you can let me know who you're here to support. And there we go. He's begun his climb up to low Earth orbit. And wow, look at him. He's dropped 1 bag. So he's only using 1 fuel tank at a time. I've never seen anything like that. Look at him climb. 35,000 feet now. So Slide begins the big climb up to altitude as the F-18s pass by their AWACS. I've never seen anything like it, Hex. Have you? I didn't even know it was possible. I know that you could set wing priority on the fuel tanks. I didn't know you could select individual tanks. I mean, when you jettison the wing fuel tanks, the pylons do go with it, so there may be method to the madness. Slide's about to enter the circle. The two F-15s this time are deciding to go north. And they have stacked up on top of each other. Slide is the first one to enter the circle, taking control for the Reds. And he's jettisoned his other wing pylon. So now he's at 41,000 feet with a clean set out and a centerline tank. He's going so high. It's a cool strategy. And I think potentially the right move here. It'll just all depend on whether or not it gets anticipated. Starry Fox 9 in the Red Devils livery, leading the battle line in an echelon left. Chihaya seems to be pretty okay with just sticking by themselves, while the F-15s stick together like glue. The F-16 can jettison the pylon. Yeah, when the F-16 jettisons its wingtip fuel tanks, the pylon goes with it. Which is incredible, because I haven't got the slightest clue how they attach. And I don't know whether or not that's realistic, but sure enough. Looks like it just falls out of these locking pins here. I wonder if Leodama still has theirs. Yeah. So you can see those three locking pins here with the fuel tank attached. But once you jettison them, the whole pylon goes with. And Slide is at 52,000 feet. Looks like the 25th warehouse are the favourites for this round. Super Q is 53 nautical miles away from Slide, and Chihaya 48. And a huge long-range shot from Slide at 51,000 feet. This missile might be going straight for Chihaya, who has fired an SD-10 in response. So both of those shots taking place at about 33 nautical miles. Slide with the altitude advantage. Chihaya actually may be in trouble here. If he doesn't drop altitude, this missile's still going to be going fast. Oh, no, it does the AMRAAM shaker and it slows down too much. Wow. What about Slide? Is he going to get away from the ones fired in response? Here's the first one. No luck for the second time. Slide gets taken out. The second SD-10 not having a chance to do its work. Meanwhile, Ono and Super Q are shooting off AIM-120s like nobody's business. And beginning their downward descent after, no doubt, TWS moding some 120s towards Leodama, Officer Kikaku, and Aeolus. Baseball now the only one who is in the south. So Baseball's going to be tangled up down here in the train. Is this missile going for Leodama? Leodama gets splashed. Now Officer has two to contend with. Officer gets splashed as well in the first volley of F-15 shots. Super Q and Ono now peeling down south to join the rest of their team. Cider and Rodney not having had much to do just yet. Chihaya and Starry chasing down Baseball here, while Aeolus and Kikaku are just going to have to piece together what just happened. What's the Bulldog on the 120? 10 nautical miles? 5? I mean, I've seen it happen. I'd say 10 is a safe bet. Pitbull. It's called Pitbull. Chihaya fires an SD-10, and it looks like it's 22 nautical miles shot against Baseball, who's already starting to turn cold. Baseball's going to get away from that one pretty comfortably, so long as he doesn't turn back in towards it. Did SD-10s always manage to keep their speed this well? Okay, he does get away with it. By the skin of his teeth. Looking now, I think, to go and rejoin his friends in the north. Kikaku at low altitude. Aeolus fires a 120 here at 30 nautical miles while getting harassed by AIM-7s. What they'll do is they'll fire these AIM-7s that have no chance of hitting here for the exclusive purpose of lighting up their radar warning receivers. And that's exactly what's happened. Aeolus has gone completely defensive against these AIM-7s. I don't think this 120 will be too much of a factor. No, it's already gone terminal and insane, so we won't expect much from it. But Baseball at 27,000 feet, launching off some missiles, but there's a 27T coming for him. No flares going out just yet. Has no warning that this missile's in the air. And it gets him. The R-27T takes out Baseball. But not before Baseball gets a chance to fire off a 120 here. Doesn't look like it's tracking anyone, though. Aeolus fires towards Chihaya. It's at a 10-12 nautical mile shot. Chihaya, if they don't defend adequately against this, will run the risk of getting splashed. But it looks like he manages to get away with it. The R-27 fired in response. This one went for the flares. So Aeolus is pushing the attack here as Starry Fox 9 looks down the barrel of taking out one of the last remaining players. Rolls over and fires off an AIM-120 and starts going defensive. Looks like that's happening at a range of 6 nautical miles. The 120 fired towards Starry has no luck. The one fired in response is tracking, impact. Starry manages to score the kill, and Kikaku is the last one left. Kikaku surrounded on all sides. Rodney fires name 7 just to get his radar warning receiver working. Starry fires name 7 as well. Ono chasing him down from the rear. Another 120 heading towards Chihaya. But it doesn't have the legs to reach. Starry faces down against Kikaku. Fires off 2 missiles. And manages to splash them. Starry getting away just in time as well. And the 25th Warehouse take control of the area for the second round. Check that everyone's on the ground. And indeed, all of the members of Nemesis are down and out. Let's have a look at some of the stuff we missed on TACView. So, Slide fires the long-range shot against Chihaya. What was the range when those missiles initially went out? Looks like it was 44 nautical for Slide. And for Chihaya, it was 40. And it really just keeps up the speed. It's still traveling at Mach 2.9, and when it impacts, a 40 nautical mile shot, and when the missile impacts, it's still traveling at Mach 2.2. This is the double-edged sword of climbing all the way up to altitude. There's just no drag to slow these missiles down. Meanwhile, when Super Q and Ono opened fire against Officer and Leodama, looks like the range was 40 nautical miles as well. That seems to be the magic number. And the opening volley of 3 AIM-120s. Looks like the second missile of Ono manages to take out Leodama, who just doesn't avoid in time, and then the second AIM-120s impacted Officer at almost exactly the same moment. And from that moment, it all seemed a little bit stressful for Nemesis. Baseball turning north to go join their friends, but managing to pick up Chihaya, who gets the R-27 shot. And wow, he fired that right on the edge of its range as well. This is the power of the ET model, comes off the wings, and it has 8.9 nautical miles to cover. But look at how much it accelerates. Mach 4 peaks at Mach 4.43. And unfortunately, that's what happens when you are... Uh-oh. So a good ET shot. Baseball never really stood a chance against that. Other than flaring all the time, wouldn't have been able to get away with it. And Chihaya pushes out. Aeola's managing to spot and evade the ET. Just a couple of flares is all it takes, but plenty is more than enough. Nearly getting a really good shot here as well, Aeolus against Chihaya. Fires a missile in response at 14 nautical miles. And let's see Chihaya's response. Manages to see the launch pretty much straight away, it looks like. Or at least have some awareness it's in the sky. And just brings it all the way down to the dirt, traveling at Mach 1.7. And then the venerable Starry Fox 9 comes in to finish off what's left. Aeolus getting unlucky with the notch here. Sometimes it's useful to look at these missiles from the top-down perspective to see why the notch isn't working. We can see that Aeolus needs to be perpendicular. Is it perpendicular? No, not perpendicular. No, it is perpendicular. It needs to be traveling perpendicular to the missile, so along this line here, but that's the nature of notching. It's not easy. And a good shot. And Kikaku here doing the best they can with what they've got. And then Starry manages to secure this exchange here. And not only that, but also managed to drop altitude as much as necessary to avoid the missile coming back in return. Expert level stuff. So how are we feeling after that? I think that was pretty comprehensive, but a good match all the same. The 25th Warehouse with some really experienced players. Nemesis here getting shown some very advanced fighting techniques. One thing I know from personal experience fighting against Starry Fox 9 is that having the capacity to dip above terrain far enough that your missile has range, but you still have the capacity to evade, that is really hard. And he's really good at it. He's really good at knowing exactly how high he has to go for his missile to work and your missile to not work. And it's really annoying because nothing you fire at him ever hits. It's like Super Q is leading the way back home in the F-15. Jump scared myself with that angle. It looks like Super Q's leading the way back home. F-15C jump scare. That's really embarrassing that I startled myself with my own camera angle. Of all people. Thank you for all of the support during SATAC, guys. I hope you guys have thoroughly enjoyed the matches so far. Let me grab some links for you so I can make sure you're familiar with the organisers. Let's see. If you want to interact with the SATAC organisers or potentially participate in one of their events, you can join in on their socials. And not only that, if you want to join my community as well, hit that follow button or join my Discord. You know all the ways. Looks like he's going for the low pass. I mean... he's alive. Which means he's safe. Rodney X, the next one to come down. Do you get anything from the organisers? They don't pay me or anything like that. I keep I keep the benefit of running the stream. Like I just get my usual subs and bits and all that sort of thing. But I don't get paid by the 51st or anything like that. Nor would I want them to. And here we have Super Q. This is the easiest way to make your crew chief incredibly angry at you. How did he jettison without the canopy coming off? Just curious with the whole sponsor thing. The sponsors is mostly helping out. So some of the sponsors provide DCS modules as rewards for the victors. Some of the sponsors, like Orbix, has sponsored in such a way that means that the finals are going to get to take place on Kola Peninsula. And contributors like Master Arm provide us with the servers that we play on. But it's not an extremely lucrative exercise, rest assured. This is very much done for the passion of it, rather than anything else. And I know that, from personal experience, the organisers are very passionate. And I'm passionate about it as well, I think. I love having the capacity to be involved in something like this. Chihaya, the first member of 25th Warehouse to land on their wheels. Perfect aero brake, and we even get the parachutes. I love the parachutes. If your plane's got parachutes and you're landing and you don't use the parachutes, you're a disappointment. Major League BVR, yeah, exactly. You remember back in the day when, like, they really went hard in on esports branding? Can you imagine this is exact event, but I'm sitting here and I've got, like, several bags of Doritos next to me and, like, the latest flavor of Mountain Dew in front of me as well. And I'm like, welcome back, guys, sponsored by Mentos, the fresh maker. Here's Kill of the Week. And oh no, down and safe. And I will go and join in on the Discord in case anyone wants to yap with me. Starry Fox 9, down. And safe. And Rodney Axe in the Hornet, coming in.
Hello.
Hello, hello. Is this Frost from the 25th
Yeah.
Warehouse? How are you?
Yeah, I'm pretty good. You know, it's quite interesting. Every time when I play a SATAC match, in the end, I will nosebleed, including this time.
You got a nosebleed at the end of this SATAC match? When did it happen?
Yeah, it's actually it's when the heartbeat rises up, and I'm going to nosebleed every time.
Well, we have Frost, Ono, Starry Fox 9, and Milner Copran here at the moment. How are you guys feeling after that one? Were there any difficulties? Did you know much about Nemesis?
Actually, yeah, go
No,
ahead.
we didn't. But
Exactly.
yeah, we watched the attack view against InSky, so we pretty much know how they're gonna do, how they. Oh, we are fighting a different map right now. I only realized after the second round, after the first round. So, yeah, I think they're doing great. They're doing similar stuff against InSky. So, yeah.
Absolutely. And the selection of aircraft, 3 F-18s. I mean, obviously, if you've got Starry, he's not going to fly anything else. And Super Q and Ono in the F-15s and the J-11s. Any particular thoughts behind the aircraft, or was it just everyone's favourites?
You know, last attack we choose 2 J-11s, right? And we basically figure out there's a limitation in the airframe at the moment, so we choose F-15 instead.
Oh, yeah. But is the limitation on the J-11 known? Like, is it public knowledge, or is it...
It's pretty much public knowledge. I think you guys talk about it in this server in your discussion thread a lot, I guess.
Yeah,
absolutely.
especially
Last year. Yeah.
Definitely. No, that's true. And the 25th Warehouse has got a wide variety of people in it. Whereabouts are each of you from?
Me and Arthur, we're Chinese. I'm living in Russia right now, and Ono, which is Arthur, he's living in the UK. And Rene, he's just getting the channel. He's also Chinese from Beijing, but living in
Yeah,
Italy.
Yeah,
Oh,
I,
wow.
I,
And
I lived in
another-
Italy for a while before, but like later
Okay.
these days I'm in China.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
And another F-15 pilot
Speaking of which,
called what is ID again? Sorry. It's another F-15 pilot. We call him Luke. He's also Chinese, but living in the United States. And Starry Fox Knight, he's Japanese, living in Japan, and Saber also.
spectacular. Oh, what an
Yeah.
international team. Looks like you guys are well-traveled.
I also want to
we
escape
do
from
have
Japan.
our location on our vertical stabilizer, if you notice that. Like for me,
Yes.
it's BJ, stand for Beijing, and so on for everybody else.
Oh, I see. I understand entirely. Right. Sorry about the skins, by the way. It was got
Never
as
mind.
many of them working as we could, and we'll help you guys get everything ready for the next one as well, I'm sure.
Okay.
and
It's
get-
probably our problem also, so we will also try to find out where the problem is. I trust you did your best. Never mind,
yeah,
buddy.
that's all right. We'll get it all
Yeah,
working.
sure. You actually have some problem about loading the skin since like 45th match, right?
Yeah, I have no idea what happened there, actually.
Yeah.
I should have had it.
No, maybe ED did something wrong again.
Who knows?
Yeah,
talk
these
me-
guys drinking vodka and developing. So who knows? I don't know.
Talk me through the Sparrows. I want to know what the Sparrow launches are for. Is it just to be distracting and light up their radar warning receiver and get them to start reacting to it? Is it just that? Is it a decoy? Or what's the thought behind a AIM-7 launch?
Yeah, I'm afraid it's kind of, business secret. Otherwise, the other guys are gonna know. But
Oh, I see. Okay. Well, that's the trick. No, you don't have to tell me. I'll ask, but you don't have to tell me. You can tell me it's a secret.
you can imagine all you want, right?
And I will. Okay. Well, I just spoke to the members of Nemesis. They are not available to come and have a talk with us today. So, from all of us, and me especially, I just want to say a big thank you to Nemesis for competing in this match and
Yeah, me too.
putting on a good show. I know that everyone had a good time watching, and I hope that they enjoyed themselves very much too.
Yeah, it's more important to have fun.
Exactly. For the members of the 25th, are there any shout-outs you'd like to make or anything you'd like to say? Please go ahead.
Definitely.
The audience is all yours.
Okay, thank you. Definitely, as the team leader, I want to really say thank you to the Starry Fox 9. Considering the time, in Asia is quite mid of night, some members cannot join the game, so I made a call to Starry Fox 9, said please help us, and Starry said yes. Of course, the 45's leader, Wombat, he also agreed. So thank you, Starry Fox 9, for your help. And for my members, did a great job at the SATAC 2023 last year. Yeah, it's called SATAC 2023. And after the toll match, the first round we won, and after that, each match we're basically losing game. So I think my team and my team members get ready for the future, and they're trying to
This is the first win in a while, and it can be a really good feeling. Really puts you in good spirits.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Actually,
Oh, well.
I'm so nervous before the game start. I've been smoking 2 packs of cigarette for today, so yeah.
By the way, shout out to Rooney, our new member.
Yeah,
Oh,
He's
yeah.
been hardworking. He's been hardworking, and he's been our energy guy.
Oh,
He's doing a great
spectacular.
job.
Actually,
The first day he.
you go ahead.
Okay, the first day that Rooney joined our team, he said, "Yo, guys, go to buy a VR." And he's saying he just keeping doing this for 3 months. Now everybody have a VR right now. So thank you, Rooney. Pay the bill. And I have to say,
joining 25 air house is also a big thing for me. Like, I was a newbie here, and it's so nice to meet all these friendly people, and I've learned a lot from them. Also, all those experience from the SATAC to me is really something I've never, considered before. And yeah, they trained me a lot, and this could be, if not one of the biggest period of time when I make a lot of progress. And also, I
Fantastic.
would like to thank some people from the Red Crown who taught me a lot of tricks before I joined here. So I had this chance to participate in such a great SATAC team and participate in such kind of a competition. Yeah, in
Well,
the end, we had fun.
fabulous.
Most important.
Well
And
done,
thanks,
everyone.
the Nemesis. Thank you.
Thank
Even
you.
they're not here, but I have to say thank you. I know the time is pretty hard, but we just did our best to catch up, and they also. So thank you, Nemesis,
Oh,
for
I'm
your
sure
help.
they appreciate it.
Yeah, for the fabulous game just gave us. Yeah, thank you so much. And you, Airshow.
Oh,
Yeah.
look. Oh, no. It's all
The
good.
first moment I know actually is yesterday. I know you will host the live for us. I'm so happy considering my girlfriend and my mother-in-law is watching the live right now. So yeah.
Oh, spectacular. Well, thank you very
Okay.
much, guys. I'll leave you here to get some rest, probably.
Yeah.
And enjoy the rest of your weekend. Congratulations. Good evening.
Thank you
you.
so much.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night. Good night.
All right, guys. Well, that settles that, and that's the end of SATAC for today. Tomorrow, there'll be 2 more matches, so make sure you write these down in your diaries. Let's see. So, the first match will be AIN, which is a USA international team facing off against Storks, which is a Russian, Belarusian, Ukrainian, Kazakhstani team. Both teams actually quite good. Storks is really good. And that will be at 1500 Zulu, hosted by 81 Banana. And then on Sunday at 1800 Zulu, I will be hosting the 52nd PVO, fighting against TFT. The 52nd is a relatively new team, and I think a spin-off from the 51st PVO. So a team that's new, but coming from a large amount of pedigree. I think we can expect big things from them. All right. That's where we go for today. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your weekend, and I'll see you later, okay? Big love. Bye-bye.